Hello students. Today in this video I'm going to be talking about the next sentence structure, which is complex sentences. Okay, so hopefully you've watched the video about simple and compound, and this one is just the next step, a different type of sentence. So just kind of as a review, okay, sentence structure using words, phrases, and clauses to make effective sentences, and we're specifically focusing on the clauses part. Okay, so let's move on. Clauses can be independent or dependent. Okay, independent is just a sentence, and that's what we were going over in the previous video. Simple and compound sentences are made from independent clauses. Okay, and today we're focusing on the dependent type of clause, which makes complex sentences. Okay, so if I can put this right here, simple and compound are for independent clauses, and dependent clauses make complex sentences. Okay, and that's the basic way of doing it. Okay, that's the only way. And so to review dependent clauses, you have to make sure you understand, or at least can go find them, what your relative pronouns are and your subordinating conjunctions. Now I know you've made note cards, or I've given them to you, and they're in the back of your book. Okay, some examples are they're in your book right there on the page that we're working on. But there's who, whom, which, that, where, when, sometimes, subordinating conjunctions, if, because, since, as if. There's a whole bunch of them. And so if you have that note card handy, maybe it's stuck in your grammar book somewhere, pull it out. If you need to pause the video and go refresh your memory on them, that would be fine as well. But this is what we're working on. And if you can find these introductory words, complex sentences can be the easiest one, really. Almost easier than simple sentences, really. Okay? So we got the arrow. We're moving to focusing on the sentence structures. Okay. All right, so sentence structure. I have a number 3 here because this is the third sentence structure. Simple is the first one, compound is the second one, and complex is the third one. Okay? In your book, it says a complex sentence is one independent clause and one or more dependent clause or subordinate clauses. Okay, so I just have that right here, an independent clause and a dependent clause. Remember, dependent clauses can't exist by themselves. They would be a fragment, so they have to be joined to an independent clause or just a regular sentence. And they will always have an introductory word. It even says in your book, dependent clauses always have introductory words. Sometimes it's understood, but it will be there. And so that's why this can be really easy. Especially this page that you're going to work on. All you have to do is just put a box around those dependent clauses. And if you can find your introductory word, then you've already got it halfway done because you found out where it starts. I've just got 2 very easy sentences here. They're almost exactly the same, but they have an independent clause and a dependent clause in them. So, in number 1, if you believe, you can achieve. It's just a very easy sentence. It has an introductory word. It has a subordinating conjunction. Give me a second to kind of look. It is the word if. That is the subordinating conjunction. So I'm going to start it right there. And many times they will have commas with them. Okay, if you remember from that. And so it stops right there. This is the dependent clause, and this is the independent clause. I can even find my subjects and verbs as they correlate to each clause. You believe, you can achieve. Okay, it's really just as simple as that. Okay, sentence 2. A little bit different. I want to show you this one because it doesn't have commas, but it does have a very clear introductory word. This is actually a relative pronoun, okay? But try to look in the sentence, see if you can find the introductory word. Those who believe will achieve. Again, almost the same sentence as the first one, just rearranged. And this is a good point of how, if you change the word or just change the sentence around a little bit, you can keep the same point but vary the sentence structure a little bit. Okay, so find the introductory word, who. Okay, so I'm going to put a bracket right there. And where would it end? Take a second to look. It ends, who believe. So just very simple, right there, very easy. This would be the subject and verb in the clause, and then we have a subject and verb on the outside. Okay. This is the dependent clause, and these pieces together are the independent clause. They work together. Okay, this is just kind of stuck in the middle. Okay. I was going to make another point. So you don't always have to have commas, but many times, like with a subordinated conjunction, or if it comes at the beginning, you'll have a comma. But that's basically what you're going to do. You're going to look in your sentences in your one exercise on the page and put a bracket around the dependent clause, find the introductory word, and then if you can find your subjects and verbs, 2 sets of subjects and verbs, that would be good as well. All right, let me know if you do have questions. Try to be clear. I think it's a pretty clear concept, but it can be confusing. Okay, let me know.